Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Get Geek podcast, where we celebrate geek, nerd, and pop culture. Each week, we deliver the best analysis for fans, by fans, on anything related to movies, TV, video games, comics, anime, and manga. We talk geek. And now, here's the Get Geek podcast.
And welcome to the Get Geek podcast. My name is Wolfie, and I'm joined by the crew, Walt, AJ, and Eli.
Goodbye.
That's your cue, guys.
Goodbye.
What's up? What's up?
All I
What's
have to
down?
say
No,
is
what's down?
the
Jesus
2022 NFL draft belongs to the Jets.
Giants.
The Jets.
Giants.
So, Jets, Jets. That's all I'm saying.
Well, we know Walt's been geeking out over. He's been geeking out over the
I'm going
2022
crazy.
draft, NFL draft this year. We got an awesome show for you guys, but before we do, please go ahead and hit the like, rate, share, and subscribe buttons that you see out there. Thank you guys for joining us. We're going to be talking some movies this time. A little something called CinemaCon 2022.
Yep.
Here's
Never
the issue,
heard of
though.
it.
Never heard of it.
Exactly.
I have no idea what CinemaCon
Never
is.
heard of it.
Guys.
This is the first time ever.
Seriously?
For me.
Yeah,
We've done
seriously.
We've done podcasts on this before.
We
On
really haven't.
CinemaCon?
No.
Yes,
We have
have.
not done it on CinemaCon.
No.
I
Yes.
have never been a part of a podcast that's titled CinemaCon Review.
We
I have
have.
to agree
We've done
with
it
Wolfie.
before.
I have to.
I'll pull it up. It
I
could
can't
be,
wait to pull this up, but
It
it definitely
could be-
wasn't called CinemaCon.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
I wasn't there.
It was. It may have been Pop Culture Over Pizza, but we've done CinemaCon probably the reason why you guys don't remember is it was probably done like 2 or 3 years ago because pandemic kind of crashed everything. So maybe
Well, yeah,
that's the
I
reason
guess,
why
but
you guys don't remember.
But I don't know, man. I've never even. I don't remember even seeing
Or
anything
maybe
on
it
social
just
media about
didn't
CinemaCon.
exist.
Anything.
No, we did. Hold on.
Somebody Wikipedia. Anyway, CinemaCon. Oh, I can't even tell you what CinemaCon is. Who knows what CinemaCon is?
Well,
Well, can you give us a description? I mean, obviously, it's the convention detailing, I guess movies coming out this year.
nope. It's not even that.
All right, so then see, there you go. Clearly,
So-
I know nothing about CinemaCon. Please enlighten.
Yeah, see, Pop Culture Over Pizza, April 8th, 2019. We did CinemaCon.
Jesus Christ, that was a while ago.
Right there.
Dang.
Right there, people.
It really does
2019?
exist. Jeez.
Do
2019.
exist.
Yeah, it's been a while. CinemaCon, gents, and ladies and gentlemen who are listening to our podcast, it is a trade show, and it is a trade show exclusively to movie theater owners. So movie theater owners, the movie business is weird, right? Because movie theater owners actually have to pay for the film. So CinemaCon is kind of the way that the, producers and the distributors of these films, they pitch it to the movie theaters and say, hey, you want to play our film in your theater. So this is
Okay.
kind of like their big advertisement for the movie theaters and saying, hey, this is what's
Interesting.
coming. This is what's interesting. This is what, for the art house crew, for the big blockbuster, for the mom and pops. It has a little bit of everything. And it's always in Las Vegas. Las Vegas, of course.
I mean,
is
Las
the
Vegas
place,
is, it's the city of conventions.
yeah. So that's what CinemaCon is, but the added treat is that even though we don't get to see like the actual trailers that they see or the clips and stuff, we get to hear news
Yeah,
about
news is dropping.
stuff. Yeah, news
There's
is
some
dropping.
really interesting stuff here. So I guess some of the most notable stuff that's been released or spoken about. I'll just go through the list real quick on some of the most notable things.
Mhm.
Mission Impossible 7.
Yeah.
From Disney, you got finally the sequel to Avatar. The Batman 2, which is news that broke this week that
Yes.
that
Yes.
it's been greenlit. Although I don't think that anybody thought that it wasn't gonna happen.
The
Mhm.
Batman too.
The Black Phone, anything from Blumhouse is kind of an instant hit. Lightyear, which I'm kind of excited about, sort of. Amsterdam, don't know what Amsterdam is, but it seems like one of the biggest things is Barbie. Didn't realize that was a thing, but
Yes.
it's Margot Robbie,
Jesus
so
Christ.
it's kind of going to be probably an instant hit. It's probably going to be one of those like a twisted take on Barbie, just from the look of some of the promo
I
photography out
I
there.
would have liked them to have made Barbie into a horror film.
Oh God,
Jesus
I
Christ.
thought that would have been because
Jesus Christ.
remember they Fantasy Island, right? They made that into a horror film.
I have
So
no idea what Fantasy Island is.
you don't remember
What?
Fantasy Island
No,
with Ricardo Montalban and Tattoo? The
I
Blaine,
am.
the Blaine.
Oh gosh,
Oh
I did
boy.
not realize.
Okay.
A new Ghostbusters film,
Ghostbusters.
which I would definitely like to talk about this. I have not seen the most recent one, but I do know that it went well. Doctor Strange, of course, that's the one that we've all been kind of waiting
Yeah, not
for.
news.
Not news. The Flash, interesting that it's still being shopped around. Black Adam, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom, Wonka, Elvis, Wicked, Venom 3. I didn't realize that Venom 3 was greenlit, to be
Yep.
honest with you. I didn't know
What
that
even
was
is going to
actually out there.
happen?
I mean, well, we'll get there and
Riot.
talk about that, because we're going to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about the most notable of this list. Don't Worry, Darling, featuring Harry Styles, Jurassic World Dominion, Dungeons and Dragons, Top Gun Maverick. That's the running list of, I guess, the most notable names coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, one film out of that list that you guys are each most excited about. Eli, on the spot.
Okay. Batman 2, obviously. I want to put it out there first because I know you guys are gonna say the same thing. Batman 2,
Oh, really?
because Batman was amazing.
Excuse me.
2.
It's not Batman.
That is, I think, the Batman,
It's the Batman.
Okay, fine, whatever.
Get it right.
aka Vengeance, aka Vengeance.
Vengeance. But we're gonna get
that
Joker.
might be on record one of the first times I've ever heard Eli be excited about anything coming out.
What? No, I've been excited.
This
I was excited about the
recently.
Batman movie.
Yeah, I know, but I feel like even the Batman, you were excited, but you were still like, oh, I'm excited to see it, but it wasn't like, you guys can't see what I see, but like, with Eli hands up, combing his hair, like, yo, the Batman, I'm gonna say that first, you know what I mean? Like,
Nah.
it's kind of funny.
Hmm.
AJ?
For me, it's really gonna be Black Adam. This thing has been in the making for a while, especially The Rock, who's always been like, "Hey, yo, I want to do Black Adam." WB, WB being WB is like, okay, we'll take that under consideration. And
We'll
now
think
it's
about it.
not
We'll
so
think about
much under consideration anymore. And just the lineup of that movie really intrigues me. Like, this is the first time we're ever going to get a live action Dr. Fate. That is going to be cool if they do it right.
I mean, again, look, everything that's come out of Black Adam seems awesome, but to this day, I'm always going to not hold my breath, because WB is really, really good at making amazing trailers and marketing material. Well,
Yeah.
I
Of
guess.
course, it has to be Barbie.
no, come on, seriously.
Barbie, obviously.
No, seriously.
I mean, who's gonna play Ken? That's who I'm waiting for.
Uh,
Is it Ryan Gosling? So the list has Ryan Gosling, Will Ferrell, and Simu Liu. Which one of them
Ferrell.
is Ken?
Whoa, what's up with this? Hold on.
Which one
You're
of them
telling me
is
that,
Ken?
like, in contention are Ryan Gosling, that looks like he came out of a Ken box.
Yeah, I don't think it's him.
You think it's gonna be Will Ferrell?
Yes, that'll be awesome. Come on.
Why am I saying Will Ferrell? Will Ferrell.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. with
Oh my
those
god!
smooth.
Wait, is this really your answer?
No, it's not. Of
Oh,
course
come
not.
on.
It's Wicked.
Wicked. Okay.
Wicked.
No, it's not.
No, it's not
Wicked.
Wicked.
It's not Wicked either. Although I
Can
do
you? Oh my!
I
goodness.
do like the play. I actually enjoyed the play a lot.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
I
saying?
love the Wicked play.
Yeah,
I
the
fell
Wicked.
asleep during
So
it.
I'm curious about
Yeah,
Wicked.
what
So
don't you fall
there is
asleep on,
some
bro?
truth to that.
Yeah.
Elvis looks interesting. I don't know, man. It's for me. It's between Dungeons and Dragons, just to be contrarian, because they haven't still made.
Don't give me no in between. Give me one.
Proper
Oh my gosh!
Dungeons and Dragons. The Bob the Burger movie. We
Pick
doing
a
that?
movie. Pick one.
I'll do Ghostbusters just because I really enjoyed Ghostbusters. All of the other films, we're excited about. We're excited about Doctor Strange. We're all the Marvel properties, all the DC properties. We're excited. Ghostbusters for me is going to be the outlier, and I'm curious to see if they could follow up off of Ghostbusters Aftermath, because I enjoyed
Aftermath
that.
or Afterlife.
Afterlife. I'm sorry, Afterlife. Yes. Well, the aftermath of Afterlife, right? Because they did it really well, and Ghostbusters has traditionally been kind of hard to do outside of the first couple of great movies with, Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and the late Harold Ramis and stuff, Ernie Hudson. So I want to see if they can follow up with the second film.
Is no one excited for Maverick?
I don't even know what that is.
You don't know what Top Gun is?
Top Gun, Tom Cruise.
I've heard of it.
Oh my god.
That is
okay. Well, Tom Cruise.
You know what?
Okay, that makes sense.
No,
that makes sense why I don't know about it.
You know what it is? Because I can't introduce 80s movies, because especially Eli, he's like, oh, no.
I'd be willing to watch it.
That doesn't hold up. It is so horrible.
I'd be willing to watch it.
Top
That's
Gun
the one with the
holds
plane.
up.
Yeah, it's the one with the planes. The planes.
Eli's like, oh, that's the one with the plane. It's many planes because it's fighter jets.
F-14.
How to fight.
F-14 Tomcats, baby.
Top Gun is one of the greatest movies of all time, with one of the greatest soundtracks of all time. Period. Stop. Okay. I am so excited for Maverick because we don't really have many films in this genre of dog fighting and jet fighting and stuff. That just really isn't. It's not easy to do. It requires a big ass budget and partnerships with the military and stuff.
The last movie I remember that was like that was Stealth with Jamie Foxx.
I was gonna say Stealth, and that's the last movie, and I thought that movie was actually really good.
I liked it also.
I enjoyed it a lot. I didn't. That one flew under the radar.
Yes. Yes.
No.
So wait a second. Who's doing the dad jokes now? Who's doing the dad jokes now?
Hey man, my beard's catching up to you.
There you go.
Come on, that was a good one. That was a good one.
Yes.
Okay.
Right. No, so I mean, I'm super excited for Maverick. I think that it's going to be really cool to see kind of the whole premise of the story of Tom Cruise's character Maverick, who was for the boys that don't know, because I think you're the only two that don't know out of this entire world. Maverick is that rogue hotshot fighter pilot that just likes to fly solo, and it kind of sort of ends up biting him in the butt a few times in the first movie, and he has to learn how to be a team player basically through a lot of trials and a lot of drama that happens in the film. And now he is slated to be the Top Gun instructor, Top Gun being the real life faction of the Air Force, where they train the top 1% of the 1% fighter pilots to be the absolute best fighter pilots in the world. So he is now going to be an instructor, whereas the first movie he was a student. So there's a lot of callbacks to that movie that I can't wait to see or hear.
That movie was so consequential that they spoofed it in Hot Shots Part 2.
Oh yes, absolutely. Oh man, if there's ever a movie that gets like its own spoof movie,
You
that movie
know
did
that it's
well.
big, right?
We got
Exactly.
like Scream had its movie. Uh, Top Gun had its spoof. 300 had its spoof.
Hmm.
All these like, oh man, what was the name of the 300 spoof film?
Wasn't it part of Scary Movie?
Was it? Oh
I
yeah, yeah, it was
I
part.
think
No, I
because
thought no, no,
because
no. It had
Scary
its own. It had its own whole
did it.
movie, I believe. I'm pretty sure it had its own
Okay.
whole movie, but it was like the same team that did Scary Movie.
Okay.
Because I remember seeing the entire thing, and it was just so ridiculous, especially like the breakdance battle that they had.
Meet the Spartans.
Meet the Spartans.
That's what it was called.
Oh my god. Anyway,
Meet the Spartans.
we should do like a movie review of like some of these spoof movies. That'd be really fun.
Freaking Kevin Sorbo was on that.
That's
film.
right.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
The kids have no idea who Kevin Sorbo is.
Hercules. Oh god.
Really
Hercules, man.
I loved Hercules.
Hercules.
Anyway, back
Hercules,
to CinemaCon, the convention that we've never heard of. So again, there are some really noticeable ones. I think the most notable ones, not Mission Impossible, because I feel like Mission Impossible is like over with. Really, I don't know why there's more. But
same goes with
Avatar is
Fast.
huge. Avatar is huge because it's been announced like over a decade ago. I think that part 2 was already in production, and it's finally coming out now.
Part 2 and 3, right? They were doing a back to back.
Yeah, they were doing back to back. Yes. So Avatar, Lightyear, Ghostbusters. We should definitely talk about. And what else? What else is big?
I mean, you have Wakanda Forever. You can't, that.
Oh, I didn't see that on the list.
Yeah, it's if you take a look at the Walt Disney's upcoming slate, you've got Doctor Strange, you have Lightyear, you have the Bob's Burger movie. You have
I don't have it on the list that I have. Oh, now I know what you mentioned. You mentioned Bob's Burger, and I did see the trailer to that. It looks pretty good.
Wakanda Forever,
the Banshees of Inisherin,
Indiana Jones,
the Menu, Indiana Jones.
Oh wow, man, these are some big ones.
The Marvels, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Holy crap!
Quantumania.
What list did you send me that doesn't have this?
No, it's up. Go.
It's
up
it's in a picture.
Yeah, it's right there. Quantumania is the new Ant-Man film.
Oh,
and of course,
we have plenty of Marvel stuff. Then that's
the biggest two of them all: The Haunted Mansion and The Little Mermaid.
Oh God!
Let's not talk about those. Let's talk about Avatar.
Boys, did you guys? That's the wrong one.
Wrong one. Boys, did you get a chance to watch Avatar? I'm assuming you guys did.
It's overrated.
We did.
Overrated?
Overrated.
Okay, he's joking. He's joking.
No, I really think it's overrated.
I did also think it was overrated.
Like, I get that the story is cool because, hey, let's rip on colonialism, but I think it's overrated,
you know what?
Period.
You know what? I think, like, for me, maybe not overrated. Well, overrated is obviously the correct term. But for me, it was overhyped. Like, I think there was just so much hype from everyone watching and all that stuff that I thought it was an amazing, technological feat as far as like a film goes and stuff. But I just thought that I thought it was just a good movie. I didn't think that it was like a culture shifting film. Although the numbers behind Avatar do kind of make it seem that way, but then again, it's James Cameron. Like, what James Cameron movie doesn't make over $1 billion back then? So
I don't remember Avatar that much.
Yeah,
that's one of the things that's really interesting. That's why I wanted. Well, no. So that's why
when I watched it. That's why.
Yeah. Well, this is also why I wanted to talk about it, because this sequel, it's not like a lot of movies that are coming out now that have a callback to some sort of distant past or relatively distant past. Like Ghostbusters is trying to rekindle or retell the story from the original Ghostbusters for the people today. This is just a direct sequel to a movie that is technically sort of in our generation, not Eli's generation maybe, but like sort of in our generation, which is kind
It's
of interesting because
13 years ago.
13 years ago. Okay, so
That's
definitely in
not that.
Eli's. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
not
yeah,
that far.
that's one generation removed.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of interesting that we have a sequel to a film that's that far apart. Like, I don't know. My question is, will the sequel feel like the first movie? Because if it does, don't you think that would kind of make it feel a little bit outdated then?
I think what
That's my worry. That's my
yeah,
worry with Avatar 2.
I think that's part of it, and I think what's going to happen, a lot of people are going to feel disconnected from that first film because it was
Exactly.
13 years ago. What I would have done as a strategy is kind of release Avatar in films one more time, maybe give it like a 2-week run to get
Right,
people,
right. Yeah. Yeah.
reacquainted to it, or at least push it, via, advertisements. Hey, watch the film, get it on DVD, see it on streaming. Who actually is the one that's behind Avatar? That's Disney, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Put it on it. Push Disney Plus and say, hey, watch Avatar again
When is it
for the first
releasing?
time. The new one,
Yeah.
Avatar 2, is coming out. Hold on one second while I check it out.
2025.
I have to
2024.
Yes, hopefully, and if not longer than that.
December, the day before Eli's birthday this
This
year.
year?
Let's
Yeah,
go.
Yeah,
December
so I mean, I
16th.
would imagine
W.
that the heavy marketing is going to come around the fall for
Yeah,
that.
I hope they push unobtainium again, because that was such a great, plot point in the film.
Well, this is
Unobtainium.
what I'm saying.
Oh
Like,
my god,
like
unobtainium.
Yeah, you don't remember that? I mean,
Oh
how
my
how
Wait,
god.
what type
on
of name
how
is
Oh
that?
my
how on the
god.
nose how on the nose do you make the
yeah.
material
Unobtainium.
that is hard for them to get, right? It's unobtainium.
I
I
mean,
mean,
so I think that
This needs
we
to stop. That is the
Unobtainium.
cringiest. Oh my god.
so
Oh
this is
my
what I'm trying to
god.
say, right? Like the things that were passable then and we can enjoy, because for example, anybody that watches Avatar now you can love Avatar still when you think about, like, oh man, it kind of gives you a little bit of that feeling of when you did see it. But if the material is a direct sequel, it may not hold up to the times.
yeah,
And then if it's too removed, then it won't really feel like a sequel, will it?
I think the allure of Avatar was not really the story, but the technology behind
Mm-hmm.
the visuals, because that was
Correct.
really Avatar was really the first time where you wanted to see a film in 3D, because the 3D was not obtrusive. Like, it wasn't used as a gimmick. It was used as a way to kind of enhance,
Enhance the
the
experience in the story.
the
Yeah.
experience,
Yeah.
the environments that the characters were in.
It was 3D
So
done right.
exactly, and that was pretty much the first time that it was ever done like that. And so I think people went back to see Avatar because it was such an experience being in a movie theater and being immersed in Pandora,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, because like you guys said, I feel the same way. That story felt overrated. I mean, we've kind of seen it a bunch of times. Dances of Wolves, Last of the Mohicans. It's always,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
to not to spoil anything, but it was kind of like the character that was outside of, the tribe that was there to save them.
Yeah.
It's the story we've seen a bunch of times, except this was just done in an alien world with alien people, but it was still kind of the same story. So it didn't bring anything new to the table. I think the thing was the visuals,
And
right?
so here's the thing, right? So the fact that, like, that's the thing, right? Like, everybody saw Avatar mainly because of the visuals, the budget, and because it's James Cameron. Now
Mhm.
here's the rub. This day and age, is there anything technologically groundbreaking that will happen there? I don't think so. I think that, like, when we see, like, the TV shows, for example, like The Mandalorian and some other properties that have utilized amazing new technology to tell these stories in certain ways. I don't know if there's anything that's going to be like a huge wow factor, because 3D is not a thing really anymore. Nobody's really jumping on 4DX. So
Right.
what's there going to be to pull them in? And it's not going to be the story, I think. And then number two, James Cameron is known for being the guy that's going to sell $1 billion at the box office. What happens now when you don't have that culture of, box office rebuys and everything is in streaming now? If a film does well, it only does well the first week or so, and then all of it's all streaming.
Right.
When a movie like this, like Avatar, that has been there's been an investment, a financial investment for, I guess, 13 years now. Of course they're going to recoup their money, but is it a failure if it doesn't do $1 billion at the box office?
Yes.
I don't. Yeah.
Because it has to do at least what Avatar 1 did, right?
Yes.
I think that's a tall mountain for this movie to climb.
Well, you know what they're doing, right? They're going back to 3D.
But that's the thing. Nobody cares about 3D. As a matter of fact, 3D is a nuisance.
I know, but you know
Thank
what?
you. Thank you.
I will say this for what it is, and we don't have any footage, so we can't really say anything. But the word that's coming out of CinemaCon is that the footage that they showed for Avatar, what is it, Way of Life, I think it's called, of Water of Life. I don't remember exactly what the Way of Water, right? That's the name of the second film. The footage that they showed with 3D was astonishing. Those are the phrases that you're hearing coming out of there. Astonishing.
I mean, but that's like
amazing.
in this day and age when you don't really trust media in any way, anyways, how much stock can you put into a guaranteed paid publication saying that it's astonishing?
No, this is coming from the Hollywood Reporter.
Yeah,
So
I know, but like the
know,
Hollywood Reporter is like, hey, like, you're my friend in the industry, give me a good review on this or say something nice about my movie. The Hollywood Reporter, no one is, especially in the film industry, I don't think anyone's immune to what's the word? Oh man, what's the word for friends in? Yeah, well, not just influence, but like friends in high places.
Well, I gotta say, like, I'm looking at some of the footage now of the world that they're making, and it looks kind of good.
Well, let me take a
So
look
yeah.
it
myself.
looks
I mean,
pretty awesome.
they so the way that they've done it is that they're crafting these theaters, because if you remember the original Avatar, there was 120 different formats of that film. They kind of
120.
they kind of piecemealed it. There was no one definitive one, but there was always the one that was the best. This one, they're trying to make sure that Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision is installed. You're having 4K, high dynamic range, high freight rate, and they're trying to make sure that the laser-based projection system that's used is 3D based. And so they're trying to get a 3D 4K 48 frames per second product on a film. That is a spectacular look, so it may not be as groundbreaking as the 3D was the original first time, because that was kind of new, brand new and stuff like that, but hearing some of the specs that are coming out, you're gonna have, and the problem is, if you're going to want to see it that way, you're going to have to really look for a theater that offers all those things, which kind of makes it difficult. We're fortunate that we're here in New York City, so I'm pretty sure there's a couple of theaters in Manhattan that have that capability. But you go to rural USA or wherever you are within the world, you may not have that experience. So, but everybody seems to be raving about the footage. So,
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm looking for it. I can't seem to find it, but I think
No.
Let's move on to some other movies that we can talk about.
Okay, I just want to say one more thing.
Yeah,
real quick. This is the first of 4 sequels.
Oh my
So
goodness.
What?
Yes.
What?
No.
Uh,
No.
I don't
damn.
know. That's
two
overkill, man.
No.
That is.
two are already in the can and ready to go, and the other 2 are kind of like waiting in the wings. But it's confirmed that they're going to do 4 of these. So
This is
get
my
ready
worst
because
nightmare.
Avatar is going to be in your
Why?
life for a while.
Money,
You
that's
know.
It's gonna be
why.
a.
Money.
Yeah, I guess. Well, here's the thing. Like,
So?
I don't think any of these movies are gonna top what Avatar 1 did, which was $2.8 billion. So
Are
$2.8 billion.
you excited for Avatar 2?
I'm not. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing it, but I'm not, because the other thing too that I think that we need to take into account is that Avatar came out at a time where you didn't have the Disney Marvel universe
Mm-hmm.
dominating the box office too. So it's like, so Avatar's just not as cool as everything that we're gonna see in Doctor Strange and everything else in Marvel. And that's the thing. This is the thing. I just said everything that we're gonna see. I already know that all the Marvel movies are gonna be cool. So I'm excited for that because I know I'm going to like it. I know it's gonna be cool. I don't necessarily know that Avatar 2 is gonna be cool and all its subsequent sequels. You have 4 movies planned, 2 already in the can. What happens if Avatar 2 sucks? What if people
Oh.
just don't like Avatar 2? They go
Yeah,
like,
that
well, let's just make the other 3 anyway.
Well, they're pretty confident in.
Well, clearly.
Yeah, they
yeah.
took the Halo
So.
TV series route.
But the difference is Halo. Everybody. Well, at least most. I feel like a lot of people said that they would suck. That there's really no difference. Still. I have a feeling it's gonna be good. Whatever.
Well, all right. Well, we'll see, and I'm hoping that it does well. I really don't think it's gonna do as well as the first movie. Um, so next up, let's talk a little bit of Disney. Since we're talking about like some superhero and comic films, let's not Disney. Sorry, DC. Let's
Yeah.
go ahead and talk a little bit DC. I know that we mentioned already Black Adam, but we got the Flash, Shazam, and Aquaman coming out. All movies that I am moderately excited for. I can't say that I'm super duper excited for. Again, I've been burned by DC. I am super excited for Black Adam, that's for sure. Shazam, I'm sort of lukewarm. I know it's gonna be a fun movie. I enjoyed the first one. Aquaman.
Aquaman to me is the interesting one.
That's so.
You know,
Let's talk about Aquaman because I'm not very interested in Aquaman. I
did you
love
like?
Jason
Did you
Mo.
like the
I love
first?
Jason Momoa,
Did you
and
like the first movie?
I love Jason Momoa, and I love him as Aquaman, and I love him in Justice League and Zack Snyder's Justice League. I
Mm-hmm.
did not super love him in Aquaman. No, as a matter of fact, wrong. I did love him in Aquaman. I didn't like everything else surrounding the original film.
Interesting.
I didn't like the story too much. I didn't like the costume design a lot for the majority of the auxiliary cast. Um and I don't know, it didn't like click for me necessarily.
Okay.
What
I
about you
thought.
guys?
Well, what do you guys think, AJ and
What
Eli?
did you guys think of the first
The
film, and
first one.
what are you guys thinking of this one? Are you excited for the second
Well,
film?
Orm, I have to say, where the costume designs were concerned, they, at least to me, looked pretty canonical, especially when you look at Orm and later when Aquaman becomes
Yes,
Aquaman.
no question. No, I agree that they were canonical. I just think that I just don't know if it worked that, to me personally, that
Yeah, they
well
were
on
kind of
them.
mid. I'm gonna just put
Yeah,
that out there.
like as canonical as they are, I just didn't think that it worked
Like
But I think a lot
the
of
only,
it has to do
great.
with the whole Aquaman shtick.
I think,
Aquaman's kind of hard, right?
eh,
Yeah, I guess so.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think
Yeah.
the only thing that really looked awkward to me was like the the Atlanteans when they came out onto ground. some of them had these red suits that looked really clunky and these white suits. I think that was the thing that was kind of like, okay, so now we're doing stormtroopers, but Atlanteans.
You didn't think that the Aquaman suit looked kind of way too flashy?
Which one? Towards the end of the movie or the beginning?
Yeah, towards the end of the movie.
That's his normal costume.
Yeah, that's his normal costume. I thought his costume
that
was
looks
great,
dumb
and
as
it should have
hell.
been. Well, here's the thing. I think that this was the issue that I had. It might be the fact that like Aquaman and Jason Momoa is coming from the Zack Snyder realm of movies, and everything else, such as of course, Zack Snyder's Justice League and Batman versus Superman and Man of Steel and like just the look and feel of all that stuff. And that's how I was introduced to Aquaman. So then seeing like these very bright, shiny, colorful everybody's it just didn't, for me, that's why I say that like it didn't feel right. And everything just felt very plastic to me.
All right, that's fair.
And that's kind of a thing that was a little bit jarring. I felt like I didn't feel like the suits were suits. I felt like the suits were costumes. Whereas in the other films, all the suits look like it has its character and it's that's
functionality.
They're not costumes.
Mm-hmm.
They are part of the film itself.
Yeah,
it's interesting that you say that, because the director is known for his dark takes on stuff. James Wan is purely a horror director, and so it's interesting to hear that one of the gripes of the film is that the characters were colorful. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that they chose him for the film because they really wanted to like have like a whole like angle with the trenches with
the trench,
and they wanted to have like the trench, and they want to have like its own spin-off film that was supposed to be kind of like a horror movie. And I just think that like the idea didn't translate or work well. So I think that like his strongest suits were not used for the story.
But I ended up enjoying that film. I thought Black Manta was done very, very well.
I enjoyed the film. I enjoyed it. It's just it's not a movie that like makes me want to like go put it on again. I have yet to see it again.
There's a lot of them, a lot of DC films that are like that, right?
Diablo Pablo, aka
you didn't have to go and read that. But okay, now
you didn't see my expression. I was like, "What am I reading on screen?" Diablo Pablo has his hand raised. Oh God, I need background on this. Somebody give me background on Diablo Pablo.
Are you sure you?
Somebody other than AJ. Somebody other than AJ. Yes, I absolutely need to know why.
He doesn't know about Dio Heisenberg, does he?
Hello. I need background before we can continue with this podcast. Not only do I need background, but the listeners need background too.
All right. So basically, during the time that I was sequestered in my abode when I actually got COVID, I threw myself.
Quarantine?
Yes, I threw myself into Diablo, the whatchamacallit, the game.
Oh, God, yeah. Okay.
And so we had also, I think, around that time, been watching Narcos.
Oh man, quarantine does some real weird stuff to people. You know what I mean?
And so basically, since I wanted to start a new character who ended up being a crusader, quote unquote holy soldier, me and my infinite wisdom said, you know what? Why don't we make a conflicted holy soldier? We'll give him the name. His name is gonna have two parts. It's gonna be Diablo, the name of the game, even though he's a holy guy, and then added to that is Pablo, the kind of messed up drug narcotics angle of it.
Again, he's a good guy, right?
Yes, this is a crusader.
Oh my God.
So taking the name of Diablo the game and Pablo Escobar the notorious drug dealer, but he's a crusader. He's a good guy. So it's all
I'm
good.
sure you know what's
It's
funny
all
though.
good.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Well, actually, not. We don't need to go into this tangent. Let's go back to Aquaman. Diablo Pablo, tell me, why did you have your hand raised?
No, because basically what I was gonna say is, isn't the Lost Kingdom more or less what Juan's the Trench is gonna be?
I have no idea.
It could be. I mean,
Because I mean, the whole point of the Trench is they are one of the Lost Kingdoms.
Okay, maybe. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, maybe this is the movie that he gets to actually
Like it's
give
not
his vision.
like
yeah,
it's not
he
gonna.
may not get the full trench, but at least he
Yeah,
gets to put elements of it.
like
Maybe.
it's
Yeah.
not gonna be exactly what he intended it to be, but I mean, just the name, the Lost Kingdom. I'm like, okay, so this might have some far-fetched thing to do with what he originally wanted to do.
Interesting.
It's possible. Definitely, it's definitely possible. So we'll see. I mean, there's not enough information for Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom right now. So, it's basically this is what it is, Orm is supposed to team up with Aquaman in this film.
No.
I mean, it's rare, but well,
It does
that's just
happen.
it. It's rare. It
Well,
must be really
I want
bad
to,
for it to
I
happen.
I want to talk about the Flash.
Oh, I've been dreading that.
Yeah.
Not all the news that's coming out of the Flash. Was title character, Ezra Miller, but around like the actual release, because it seems, or rather the teaser that was shown at CinemaCon, because it featured Michael Keaton.
Huh.
And that's, yeah, like, so in the in the teaser trailer that was shown to everyone at the CinemaCon, Ezra Miller's Flash is seen entering the Speed Force, which takes him on a timey-wimey multiversal adventure. I'm quoting lifehacker.com over here. And apparently, Keaton drops his famous line, "You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts."
Yeah.
And so it's
Um,
interesting that they chose that as the teaser, because it's easily like telling everyone, like, hey, like, we know we got all this stuff going on with Ezra Miller. Focus on Michael Keaton. We got Batman Michael Keaton over here. Let's pay attention to that.
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I can't. Like, I wasn't really looking forward to a Flash movie to begin with because I know this whole thing is going to be like, all right, so we messed up the DCEU. We're going to do a Flashpoint and reset everything. Okay, original idea. Good job,
Mm.
WB. But it makes it considerably worse when the main guy who is supposed to be the titular character is just like he I don't know. I really don't understand his actions. It seems like, at least to me, it feels like he has a get out of jail free card. And it's like it's kind of irritating at this point.
I mean, it reminds me a little bit of like Shia LaBeouf, and his like how he is. He got into a lot of trouble, a lot of like controversy, during his like heyday and stuff.
Hmm.
I do know that he has a bit of a different outlook and take on film and acting, I think, and a lot of that comes from a lot of the issues that he came. Well, a lot of the issues that I think that Shia dealt with had to do with like his disdain for mainstream film, despite being part of Indiana Jones and Transformers and some major films, right? With Ezra, I feel like it's just, you know, I think it's I mean, I can't say it because I'm not Ezra Miller and I don't know him personally. I'm not in his
Yeah.
circle, but it
Hmm.
feels like it's different. It doesn't feel like this is coming from you know, this is how my artistic mind works, and I'm raging against the mainstream industry. This is just him being a jerk,
Yeah, basically.
You know,
You know.
Yeah.
because he's being a jerk to, like, just normal average people, fans.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I definitely feel you on that. Like, I'm definitely less interested in watching The Flash because of Ezra Miller, but I'm very, very interested in seeing Michael Keaton as as Batman.
Well,
You
it
know,
looks like we're gonna get different versions of Michael Keaton because I'm reading the trailer description. The
Different
Mhm.
trailer description is
versions.
interesting because the trailer. I'm gonna do this really quick, and I want to get your guys' reactions on some of the stuff that happens here because the trailer that premiered at CinemaCon, it starts out with Flash running to his childhood home, and he's kind of there, and then all of a sudden he enters the Speed Force. You get dropped into Wayne Manor, where you see a Michael Keaton with shoulder length white hair from the back, right?
really?
And he opens the door into kind of like the Bat Cave, where you see different type of bat suits, and the trailer goes on from there. You get to see um Ben Affleck's Cape Crusader. He's in a chase with the police, right? It goes through different, and like Wolfie said, he's going through different time periods in this trailer. He hits Michael Shannon's character. He comes back as Zod. We see him in the trailer. We see Sasha Cali, her upcoming portrayal of Supergirl there. She's wearing a suit that's very much like Henry Cavill's suit, right? And it kind of ends with old school Michael Keaton Batman, the 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 89 bat
Yeah,
suit,
yeah.
the yellow emblem, and that's where it ends. So it looks like the Flash is going to try and hit up on a lot of different things here, and those are the things that kind of worry me because we've already seen DC rush through things, right? Clearly with their movies trying to catch up with Marvel. Here's another instance, kind of very, in a bubble where it almost seems like this film, which is technically Flashpoint, right? I mean, let's not kid ourselves here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
They're trying to reset it, but it,
Oh,
it
shoot.
seems like just from the trailer description here that this is going to be another rush job, where you're going to be bringing in all these characters for the sake of bringing in all these characters. I wonder if the story is going to suffer because of that, because we're trying to put in as much of the DC universe in this film as possible, you know?
Well, here's the thing. I have trouble believing that Michael Keaton would sign on to something that's not quality, though. That's the thing. So, because
Well,
Michael Keaton does,
he was on Morbius.
I guess, but that's also because he
Ouch.
yes, but it's because it's part of his, I think, his extended contract for playing Vulture on Spider-Man.
Maybe.
Yes.
For a second,
Yeah.
I
Have
could
you
have
guys
sworn
seen
you said
Morbius?
Voltron.
I have not, I was
I still want to
going
see it.
to, but then, all those really negative reviews kind of turned me off. And I'm not usually like that, but you know what, with everything that's going on in my personal life, I got to be really picky and
Yeah.
choosy which
Yeah.
which movies we're
Yeah.
going to watch, So
Yeah, I do still definitely want to watch it. I want to give it its
yeah,
fair shake. So
exactly. But I haven't heard any good things about Morbius,
yeah, I know.
So
Same here. All right. Well, so what? Well, let's move on from DC movies. I think that one that really warrants talking about, I think it's Lightyear.
mhm.
Only because this is
Lightyear.
supposed to be essentially it's an animated film, but it's Buzz Lightyear's live action film. It's essentially supposed to be the movie that Andy fell in love with, that made him fall in love with Buzz Lightyear, the toy.
Mm.
It's Andy's Star Wars, so to
Yeah.
speak. So I'm
Okay.
really interested to see this movie not as Buzz Lightyear the toy, but Buzz Lightyear as the actual character and his own universe and everything. These are essentially human beings in a galactic battle, right? So I think it's going to be a really cool take and a really good, I think a really cool way to expand on the Toy Story universe, that I can already see this being an actual extended universe.
Yeah.
I can see them doing a Woody movie
Oh
where
God.
it's in a real cowboy, show or something like that.
Well,
There's
if
a
you
snake in my
remember,
boot.
when the teaser trailer for Buzz Lightyear first came out, there was a certain amount of controversy surrounding that. Where fans were literally ripping the trailer apart because Chris Evans is voicing Buzz Lightyear.
Right.
So, they were like, "Oh, you've just ruined my childhood." Woody Buzz will never be the same. Blah blah. You know how the internet
Yeah,
does, right?
yeah, I know.
So, but yeah, I am interested for all the reasons that you mentioned. It's this seems like it's going to be a more. It's the franchise is growing up with the viewers, right?
Yeah,
Because everybody that saw Toy Story will probably not go back now that they're older to see another Toy Story. But if you change the
that's what I'm saying.
dynamics,
Yeah,
and say, yeah, we're technically doing Toy Story, but we're bringing Buzz Lightyear into the real world and we're telling his actually origin
yeah,
story. That's something that appeals to a lot of people, especially
yeah.
those people that grew up as kids with Toy Story. Now you're telling an adult tale. A lot of people
It's
are
going
going
to
to
be
sign up for
completely
that.
different too, because you got to consider the fact that like this Buzz Lightyear has no relation to Andy or Toys or Woody
Mm-hmm.
in any way. Whereas Toy Story was about the relationship between Woody and Buzz, this movie is going to be something completely different. So I'm kind of excited for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys, what about you guys?
Oh
Wait, I
no,
do want to ask actually, are you guys Toy Story fans?
Oh no, definitely not. Why would I be a Toy Story fan?
I don't know. I've only seen the first movie.
You haven't seen the second
wait.
movie?
Whoa,
Hold
that's
What?
on.
Oh
no,
my goodness.
All
no.
right, hold on. Let me
Whoa.
rephrase
That's
it.
Wait.
unacceptable.
Let me
Wait.
rephrase this. Let me
Wait.
rephrase it. Hold on. Let me rephrase it. I've only seen the first movie in the theater, unobstructed by distractions. The other films I have seen in part. I think I've seen them all, but like kind of by hanging out at my cousin's house and stuff. So I've never sat down to watch the Toy Story movies.
It's unacceptable.
You know what? You don't get to criticize me about these kids not watching Top Gun when you haven't seen Toy Story 2
Yeah.
and especially
Yeah.
3. Because 3, if I remember correctly, that was one of the most devastating films that I've ever been to that was a kids movie. Like
Wait,
I've
I
heard. I've heard.
that
I've heard.
was
There's a very big difference, though. There's a very big
that was a
difference here.
soul crushing movie at the
Yeah,
very
yeah.
end,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, absolutely, and I understand that. But my thing is, I'm not a huge
Nope.
fan of
Nope.
that. Wait,
Nope.
you didn't even let me finish.
I don't want to hear it. Don't want to hear it.
What do you don't want to hear it?
Shutting you down.
I'm
Where's the
not a
mute
huge.
button?
I'm not
Where's
a.
the mute button?
I'm not a huge
no.
fan of that style of animation. I've never been a huge fan of like Disney and Pixar animation style.
Oh,
I just yeah.
if listen, you seen Up?
Yeah, I've seen Up. There's
Okay.
movies that I'm not saying that I'm
Have you
not
seen
saying that I haven't
Coco?
seen. What?
Have you seen Coco?
No.
I give up. You know what? I'm gone.
To
No.
be fair, I don't think
What?
I've even really seen Coco
Yes,
either.
you have Coco. You've seen Coco. You've
Really?
seen Coco. Yes, that's the one with the Dia de los Muertos.
I
That one recently came out,
no.
no?
Yeah, it just recently
Yeah.
came out.
Yeah, a lot
I
of people were
don't
talking about it.
think
It's
I
just
have.
again, it's not that look, there's movies that I
Disappointing.
will see, but it doesn't call my attention. Like the style just doesn't call my attention.
Yeah, but you know
The
what?
same way that like black and white films don't call my attention.
No,
Like,
I get that, but you know what?
yeah.
If you're dismissing the Pixar films because of the animation, you're really doing a disservice because some of
Yes.
those films are one of they are some of the best films made of their generation. They really
I
are.
totally believe that
So
too. I'm not even believe it. I know it. I and the thing is, I actually really enjoyed the first Toy Story movie. I love Toy Story the movie, but it's not the kind of movie that I like make time to watch. Unfortunately,
watch the Toy Story. Well, there's a 4 out there
There
also,
is a
right?
Four was
four.
incredible. Four was
yeah. I heard four
incredible.
is really
That
good.
one
4
is
had
the
I
one
really
I
wanted to
That
did
watch
was
not
four.
see.
that was
I
sad.
really wanted to watch four.
4 had Keanu Reeves. That's all you need to know.
Yes.
I know. I really wanted to watch
Yes.
four. But then I remembered that I need to watch 2 and 3, and I wanted to watch 2 and 3 just so I could watch four, but just never made the time and just happened. That's all.
Strangely enough, I think 4 is disconnected enough that you could have watched it without watching
No.
2 and 3. I
Really?
mean, there
No,
are
Toy
some
Story.
elements
No, that's
because
not true.
remember, it no longer. Well, I'm not gonna say anything anymore. But
No, four
um,
was connected because there has to be context for you to understand what's
watch
going on.
Okay.
those films. Watch Coco, especially as
Coco.
Hispanics, you have to watch it because
So
it
Coco, I saw it while it was playing in the background.
what is you
And
with the background? What's
it's
going on
just
with that?
with Coco, it's just
No, 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 no. Coco's not a background movie, man.
the other thing
No,
too
no,
is
no, no.
listen to
No,
me.
no, no.
The other thing too
Yeah.
is that I'm not very big into musicals, and these movies usually have a lot of musical set pieces.
Oh, but
I don't like musicals either.
Coco
I
is a
still watched it.
beautiful film,
But
man.
you're a kid.
What?
It's
What does
the
that have to do
circle
with
of
anything?
life.
I'm
What are you
joking. I'm
trying to
joking.
say?
I'm joking.
Coco is a beautiful film,
No,
bro.
and I
It
know,
really, really is.
I unfortunately fell asleep through the middle part of it.
This is getting worse.
If we were on video right now, you would see Walt just completely like having several aneurysms or something.
Walter, come
Oh
back.
man.
Get him to tell him to come back.
Oh no.
No,
I'm
listen,
sorry,
hold
people.
on. Hold on.
I had to step away because this is just,
Listen, hold on.
where's
I
my
didn't
Pepto Bismol?
listen.
I
Hold
feel
on.
like the Mandalorian right now, like Boba Fett. Where's Pepto Bismol? I need this.
No,
I need
listen.
this now.
I a lot of the times when these movies are put on, I'm not there to watch the films. Like, they just happen to get put on without me being in the mood for it. And so I'm paying attention to it, but I'm also like not like super engaged, because when I'm watching a film, for me, it's an experience. When I decide to watch a movie, I want to like kind of prepare myself. If I'm going to watch it at home, I want to be, kind of seated, the whole nine. Like I want to be mentally there and engaged. So I can't just like, come into a room and then a movie's playing and then be fully engaged. Like, unless it's a movie that I have already seen that I enjoy. Like, for example, Matrix, Top Gun. I happen to go to your house and it's on TV. I'm going to sit down and enjoy it because I already know I really enjoy the film. But other than that, when it comes to experiencing a new film, I need to be mentally ready to experience the new film, So stop rubbing your head.
Right,
It's not that bad.
I know we're supposed to be talking about CinemaCon, but this is what we're gonna do. You're gonna come over to the apartment. Andre, get the duct tape ready.
Oh my
Okay.
I mean, the reality is that he's going to get me in a
your
chokehold or something.
your spot. Well, we're gonna catch him before he has a chance. You know your spot on the couch, so don't worry about it. We'll have you comfortable in duct tape. You are gonna watch these damn movies, one way or another, man.
I mean, I guess
you.
at some point in my life,
Oh
I
my
will.
gosh! My gosh! Anyway, let's get back to Buzz Lightyear, right? Lightyear.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
what
I
we
mean,
were
I've said
talking
everything.
about.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. That's basically it. I think that we're all excited to see it. And
Yes.
yeah.
Are there any Disney
Yeah.
movies that you're excited, like Haunted Mansion,
I'm not a
Little
Disney fan.
Mermaid?
Where have I
Little
heard of
Mermaid.
Not a
Haunted
Disney
Mansion?
fan. I'm not a Disney fan. That's why I was not happy. That's
Eddie
why I was
Murphy
not
was
happy.
in.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Eddie Murphy did an
Okay.
Haunted Mansion way back when.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not a huge Eddie Murphy
Listen,
fan either.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
I know
Came out of Disney.
That's true, and I love Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, not the later films, but
Yeah, the very last one I wasn't super. I thought that was a cash grab. But this is at the end of the day, this is the crux of my issue with Disney is that I can see the cash grab. I can smell it even. I feel like I can feel it in my bones when I watch a movie, and I can tell that they're kind of just trying to cash
but
in.
that was
Um,
pre all the stuff that's been going on.
No, I'm just saying, like that's Marvel. That is Marvel. That is Star Wars. That is Toy Story. It's literally like, hey, like we're done with the story at Toy Story 3. Let's do one more. Oh man, it made so much money. Let's do Lightyear. You know what I mean? Like it's like this is what this is what Disney just constantly does. So I'm not when I can see it from an angle like in the movie, when I can tell that like they're just trying to pique certain demographics interest, just because it's like I think, all right, what I'm trying to say is I feel like I can sense when Disney is trying to make the most people happy at the same time as opposed to tell the absolute best story. And that is the issue that I take with Disney and why I'm not a super fan of a lot of Disney movies. I mean, how many times do we need to see The Mermaid?
Well, we've only seen it once, really.
I've never seen it.
That was the original animated. I don't think they've done anything else with that.
I guess. All right. Well, how many times do we need like some of these stories retold? Like we didn't need to see a live action Lion King. We didn't need to see a live action Beauty and the Beast, even though I did see Beauty and the Beast live action. We didn't need to see these movies. Really,
but they weren't bad movies. I mean, Lion King
they weren't great.
Right, Lion King.
They weren't better than its original source material.
Right. Lion King couldn't hold the torch to the original film, and I suspect Beauty and the Beast for you, Gabe, it didn't do it. Right?
Yeah, no, it didn't. And but I think that like it's the same thing's gonna happen. You know, Little Mermaid's gonna come out, and it's just gonna like, oh well, this wasn't as good as the animation. Yeah. So, you know,
all right,
you already know what's gonna happen.
Let's talk real quick about the Marvel movies that we have listed here. And one omission that I wanted to talk about also, but for 2022, they have listed Doctor Strange, the Multiverse of Madness, which is coming out literally in a week from now. So you've got Thor, Love and Thunder. You've got Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever, which interestingly enough, slated for 2022, and we've heard nothing about, you know.
It kind of makes sense though. It makes sense because there's too, like, you know, Multiverse of Madness, there's just too much that needs to be done to promote that film, and consider the fact that like because of the streaming revolution, they're like everyone's focus has to be dialed in. So it's like if I'm Marvel, I'm like, all right, we need to get as many people in seats in that first week, so we cannot have any other distractions like anything else that we're doing this year.
But I'm out of all the three films, I'm actually really interested to find out more about Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, so
I know I'm going to enjoy Doctor Strange. Thor looks like a super fun movie. Wakanda Forever is that outlier where it's like, you know, especially with, you know, the passing of Chadwick Boseman, how are they going to handle that? That to me is supremely interesting, and we've heard nothing on the project.
That could also be part of it, you know. I think that it could also be like, hey, like we need when we launch this and we do all the marketing for this, we got to do it right. So let's take the time to get it done right.
I know, but usually around this time you would hear at least a leak or something. You know, it's been mum the entire thing.
That's true.
We have that, and then next year we've got the Marvels. We've got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. We've got Quantumania, which is Ant-Man, Eli. And the non-Marvel movie, which really strikes me as interesting, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones is back in play. I mean...
I don't... Wasn't the last one like horrible?
Crystal Skull
the Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls.
It wasn't that good. It was kind of whack.
Because they tried doing
I liked it, actually.
Aliens.
I really enjoyed it.
No. Aliens.
No, I really enjoyed it, to be honest with you. I thought that it was a great passing of the torch. However, Shia decided like, I don't want this torch. But that was what that movie was intended for. It was supposed to be a passing of the torch to Shia, and then Shia basically turned his back on production and Steven Spielberg and everything. Um, so yeah,
You know what's the biggest omission of that Disney slate?
mm.
There's no Star Wars.
Yeah, good.
Well,
Good.
yeah. I mean,
that to me I found super interesting. Star Wars.
Are they gonna have like their own like Star Wars kind of announcement? Because
But
I think that that's something that's what's been happening too. Is these like mini like I guess online conventions. Like we got like the Xbox one coming up now. PlayStation, Sony's probably
Mhm.
gonna do one relatively soon after that
Yeah,
if they haven't
State
announced
of
it
Play.
yet. State of Play.
But
The Star Wars, like I mean, they had a Star Wars one when they released the timeline and all the shows that are coming out.
no,
It
I
doesn't make
agree.
sense. Yeah, I mean, it
But
makes sense for them to kind of like, hey, let's not announce this stuff now. Let's put it all together. You know,
but
um,
this is not a normal convention, a normal announcement. These are it's basically marketing for the theater owners,
let
and
me
and
ask you a question.
that's why at least a semblance of an announcement to get these guys excited and
Well,
say, hey, you know
let me ask you a
that's
question.
what
Let
I
me ask you
said.
a question.
That's why I'm looking at
Let's
it.
say you own all the Star Wars rights and all the films, everything that's happening. You are literally Walt Disney.
There you go.
uh, do you have any fear that any theater is not going to buy any Star Wars films?
Sure.
Really?
And well, I look at it this
You
way,
think that
because
they would
no, 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 no.
that they need to sell Star
But
Wars to
remember,
theaters?
remember, this is not just AMC we're talking about. This is not Regal that we're talking about. This is all the theater owners. They have to budget out the amount of money that they spend during a year. So this is part of their process in terms of building that budget. So if you're telling me that Disney is going to spring on you at the last second a Star Wars film where you've already budgeted for the year the movies that you're going to play in your movie theater, that's bad business, because now all of a sudden, especially like I said, with AMC and Regal, they can handle this stuff. But we're talking about the places like the Bowtie Cinemas, those mom and pops,
Yeah.
the Cinemarts. They don't
Yeah, I
have the
mean
capability to
Disney's
turn
not
on a
thinking about them.
dime. You know what I'm saying?
Disney doesn't really
So
care about the mom and pop shops.
but
That's
then
the truth
but
of the
that's what
matter.
but that's what this convention is all about. This is
I know, but that's
convention
what I'm
is
saying.
is
Disney
setting
doesn't care about
expectations,
the mom and pop shops. The mom
it's a
for Disney, the mom and pop shops are for like these smaller brands and stuff like that. You know what I mean? These smaller films. Like, hey, you can have our crumbs. This big meaty stuff, we'll save that for the big guys. And
it's a
this is
bad
why
way to
Disney
go.
is the evil empire.
But
As
and
much as I love the stuff that comes out of some of the Star Wars stuff and everything that's coming out of Marvel, all Disney's doing is like, hey, we have all the money in the world. Sell your soul to us, and we'll let you do whatever you want, as long as it's in the Disney culture.
but this is what kind of exacerbates that whole the movie theater is dead type of thing,
Right.
because eventually what happens is that you're putting out these smaller
Right.
movie theaters.
Mhm.
They serve a purpose. I mean, again, we're fortunate that we live here in New York, but even as if you go into Long Island, there are smaller movie chains, Bowtie Cinemas being one of them, that
Mhm.
they're
Mhm.
bigger than most, right? But there are smaller of these little chains that kind of service the community that they're in. And Disney, if Disney is taking this tact where it's like, what, we're going to screw the small ones and just go for the big ones, you're back to the whole, the movie theaters is dead, and people now get pushed more towards the streaming aspect of
And who
things.
does that help? That helps
Yeah, I
Disney.
guess.
It's a thing. It helps Disney because that's what they want. They want you to stream more than anything because they keep 100% of that dollar.
Yeah, I guess. It's just a sad way to go.
It absolutely is. Again, Evil Empire. I hate you guys.
I'm going to ask one quick thing because I know we want to close, but I want to direct this toward AJ. Are you excited for the Dungeons and Dragons movie that's coming out? Because I know you're a big D&D guy,
I was.
So.
You was?
I was.
Why not now?
Well, I don't really run campaigns anymore.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Remember when I said that I really want to kind of try a game, I guess, or a campaign, or whatever you guys call it?
Yeah, it's called a campaign.
Unfortunately, there's no time anymore. Maybe we could do it through webcam.
Yeah, that's how a lot of people actually do it nowadays. You can do it very easily that way. Dungeons and Dragons.
That's such
Honor Among Thieves with Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez.
It's such a vast
excited about Chris Pine.
canvas.
I'm not excited about Michelle Rodriguez. I think she is a great representation of our community in film. I don't think that she's that great of an actress. I'm sorry. I'm not a huge fan of her acting skills. I'm a fan of her movies.
She's kind of typecast as the tough girl.
Yeah, just the way that she has like these certain mannerisms and stuff like that. And then, and I feel like next to Chris Pine, I don't know how that's gonna work because I think he's a great actor. So
maybe there's some playing
crossover
off of each other, with them and stuff. Yeah. But the footage that they showed in CinemaCon, they said was lush environments. It's nothing like the original film that they tried to push on the D&D community way back then. It looks like they're really, really putting a lot of effort into this, and so it's a Paramount film. Let's see how it goes. But I was just curious to see if
to say that you're making a D&D film is like saying I'm gonna make a Star Wars film that encompasses every movie, every show, and every single piece of written literature about Star Wars. Like, D&D can really be, yes, even Rise of Skywalker. D&D can be literally anything. Although there are some things where it's like that there are specific guides for specific campaigns. But I don't know. That's gonna be quite the undertaking.
All right. Well, we'll see what happens. There's still time on that.
So.
Yeah, I think we can close this one out.
I think so. I mean, we talked about whatever we're most excited about, right?
Barbie.
Well, I think that's gonna do it then for us. It's been awesome. It's been fun. Thank you guys for sticking through all the way to the end. Please like, rate, share, and subscribe. Once again, if you haven't already. Stay geeky.
Peace.
Peace out.